I'm Mint Salad and I saw Velma episodes 5 and 6. It is directed by Charlie Grangley. Oh man, if you haven't seen the first 4 episodes, the reviews that I did exist. Go check them out. Episode 5 is called Marching Band Sleepover. You might expect that most of the episode would be about a marching band sleepover, but let me tell you really quickly what happens in it, because nothing really happens. First of all, we have Norville and Gigi are in a new relationship. Velma, being a bad person, is first gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm totally supportive. And then later on, she's gonna miss Norville, but then she's gonna flat out say to Norville, yeah, I miss you because I use people. And it's like, is this funny? Comedy? Haha. This isn't the worst thing that I have contention with in this episode. I have notes, so I actually know what I'm gonna say, because, oh man, this episode really made me mad. As a former band student, the establishment, the police people setting a curfew. Oh, everything is canceled, including the marching band sleepover. But Velma is like, I don't want to have this marching band sleepover, but then has it at her house. It's to get something. What? It's to get Norville to her. Wow. Did you notice that? Velma is so easy to see through because she is just deliberately trying to use people and to have Norville. Maybe she likes Norville. No, there's no hint of that. She doesn't really like anyone. A lot of the jokes are mostly just her saying, oh yeah, haha, I don't like people. Under boob sweat. Yeah, haha, hilarious. As a woman, I have never used under boob sweat to describe anything to any man. Why do these creators really not like male audiences? It seems that, I don't know, any male audience would like this, mainly because it's just so disparaging. Also, I should mention that Velma is a little racist herself against Daphne. There's also a Daphne subplot that's happening as well at the same time. You know, she's a Krista Coves. Well, turns out her parents are in a gang. Okay. And they abandoned her or something, or she has the idea that she got stolen by these 2 lesbian cops. And it's like, why? Why would some random person just steal a baby? This isn't Clown World, Daphne. Back to the sleepover, which, by the way, I'm being so scattershot because the episode is so scattershot. The marching band segment only comprises of maybe like a good 5-10 minutes. Not even 10 minutes. I'm giving it a lot of credit for 10 minutes. The entire episode is called Marching Band Sleepover, but it's not the entire episode. All right, I'm gonna pull out my notes because, oh man, here we go. I don't think the creators like band students at all. They're misrepresented as if they are garbage people. Here are my notes, okay? First of all, the trombone kid. There's one trombone kid in the band room. Get a shot of him, and he's leaning on the trombone slide part like it is a cane, and the bell is facing upward. Bad. First of all, you're supposed to have the bell facing downward. You're not supposed to put a lot of pressure on the slide, because if you put a lot of pressure on the slide is what makes the notes go change. If you have any resistance with the slide, like it's dented, then that is a bad trombone putting pressure on the slide like this. And also the top of the bell, which, by the way, influences the tuning, because there's like a little part at the top that's like very like fine-tuned to like make sure you're in tune. It's really complicated. But like, holy dang, dude, why? Why would you just like want brass to dent, which, by the way, very easy to dent brass compared to other metals. Why? Why would you do this, kid? Some of the trombone position, hand positions are right. That's good. The trombone and the trumpet are not MIDI. And by that, I mean, it's not like computer. It's not like from like a computer, a keyboard, electronic keyboard with programmed sounds. That one note will sound like a trombone, and it's like electronically pitched to be representing different notes, but it sounds electronic. It sounds like they brought in actual musicians, which I appreciate. What I don't appreciate though, is we see a scene, very quickly, a trombone slide hits the side of Daphne's head, and it's doing glissando, right? But the glissando, even though the slide is being pushed outward, the note is going up in pitch, which is not how a trombone works. I have 5-year trombone playing experience. So when it comes to a trombone, okay, if you go from first position to 7th position, this dude, not changing his embouchure at all, would go down in pitch. If he was changing his embouchure, which it didn't sound like he would be going up in pitch, but it'd like sound very like disjointed and not smooth. So this was animated wrong, okay? There's also a joke that I don't think most people would get. Velma says, don't use that plunger as a mute. You'll get E. coli. If you don't know what a mute is a little thing that goes over the bell, like on a trombone, kind of hold it, like you'd hold your trombone by the bell in one hand and control the mute. So a plunger mute, it just looks like a plunger, right? And it warbles the sound effect. So a plunger mute, there's like several different types of mutes. There's plunger mute, there's straight mutes. Those are the only 2 types of mutes that I've used, but there are electronic mutes that exist. It's presumed that these trumpet players are so gross and needing of a mute that they're going to use a toilet plunger. Unhygienic? I don't think the creators like band people. And also they're shown to be eating furniture throughout because they're not giving food. Very negligent. There's also a nice little war waging between Velma and Gigi, and they're bad at playing the flute. And I can tell you how. Okay, they got their fingerings down, but the way that they're not full-bodied, they don't have that good of air control of like the airstream into the instrument that makes it sound full-bodied. So they're intermediate. It is a good attention to detail, but it is insufferable, and I have to agree with the show that the flute is insufferable. And also the show keeps telling me that Velma is smart, but she doesn't seem to be very good at anything. Oh my goodness, Fred. He's kind of lost the funniest factor to me. I mean, his delivery of lines is great because he is the best character. He's supposed to be represented as the worst character in the show, but since everybody else just is written horribly, in my opinion, and Fred is actually like a guy, okay? He's a guy that I believe exists. He just wants to learn more about feminism, and there's a fun feminism quote that he says like, oh yeah, male feminism going half far. Done. That's commentary. That's actual proper commentary, okay? The other stuff, just like blatant racism on Velma's part against like white people and Asian people that Daphne is, oh my goodness. And plus, I actually like, I'm not political, but I actually like, since there is an actual political take that I've heard that exists in the world. Episode 6 is called The Sins of the Fathers and Some of the Mothers. Sounds like a reference. This episode starts with Velma curious about her mother. There's some backstory on how her father was a workaholic versus, oh, now that he has a newborn baby, he's mostly focused on that, but then he's a workaholic still. And there's some dilemma there's some fighting between Velma and the dad, which is pretty good because it's like commentary on, oh, workaholic dads exist and missing out on your daughter growing up and the daughter kind of expressing her feelings. I feel like there is like some good point to an episode, and then it's immediately covered with dumb stuff. Velma's trying to look for her mom. She has hallucinations, and she's like, oh, the root of my problems is that I have daddy issues, not because that I have mommy issues. My dad is not believing that she got kidnapped, or he thinks that she left. And I'm like, yeah, okay, Velma, you're gonna try to convince your father. And the way that she convinces him, I'm like, man, if I were the father, I would not even try to believe. Only in like a very life-struggling instance, like, oh, you're about to die, Velma? Well, that's not good. Maybe I'm going to believe you. But hallucinations, whenever she encounters a step to knowing her mother's mystery, she has a hallucination, which is just the plot being completely stalled. And then we have more teen drama stuff, which is not intriguing at all. Like, I don't feel compelled by these characters. However, I do like how I do know a lot of the main cast characters plus Gigi. I know Gigi's name, so that's props to the writers for that. Thank you for forcing me to remember their names. Jinkies, there might be a ghost now that I'm completely in the dark. Well, I'm gonna continue with this review because I have notes. Like, first of all, okay, Velma needing to find some more information about her mother's disappearance. She goes to the principal. So the principal's mother was a mad scientist who can make a brain live outside of its body. And so some general guy is like, oh, I need you to perform some experiments, and we're gonna have a secret code word for it. You wanna know what it is? The program is called Special Covert Operations Brain Initiative. It is an acronym for Scooby. The line that Velma says right after, Scooby, what does Scooby do? Made me groan. Wow, that was awful. Thanks for that, great. There's also a part where Norville and Velma are talking about how their dads are betas. More specifically, how Norville's dad is a beta, and then he learns later, kind of overcomes that fact actually. And then he's like, oh, well, I'm alpha, my dad's a beta, I'm gonna go break all the rules, be cool, too cool for school. And there is some like reference to the two girls who are missing a head in the Scooby initiative, but then like nothing else is done about it because Velma has more hallucinations that almost cause her to die twice. Also, there is a little bit of a guilt that is kind of forced at the end. Gigi has an allergic reaction and there were no EpiPens, so now she's in the hospital. And Norville feels really bad. And I'm like, man, really the hallucinations? I hate the hallucinations. They're just stalling the plot. Also more tie up on the Daphne thread. Her parents abandoned her. While she was hanging out with her parents, the gang that they were part of, and the parents just left her. Yet again, wow, the parents actually abandoned you because the lesbian cops were like, yeah, we actually just found you. They just kind of left you there, okay? Daphne didn't believe it, now she does. Of course, the parents abandoned her yet again. Man, Daphne, I feel you. I like how there's some emotional connection between Daphne and the lesbian cops. It's nice. There's some nice moments, but the nice moment is broken when Velma stumbles into a place and picks up a piece of paper. Jinkies! Why'd you say Jinkies? It was on this piece of paper. And then she just says Jinkies, and then the last line is, oh, is that gonna be a thing? It's like, no! Stop just forcing it in! For fan service, it's not gonna work! I'm just gonna hate you more! Okay, first of all, now I have to rate these episodes. I am cold. The writing is just getting kind of more mediocre. It's not getting like kind of bad. It's kind of bad. It's really bad. But it's not as bad as like the police have to make a list episode, whichever episode that was. Man, I already forgot because I want to get Velma out of my head immediately after revealing. Oh my goodness. And then every time I watch it, I'm reminded of what happened again. I'm like, oh my goodness, this show! It exists! It got cleared for a second season, I heard. The 5th episode, I'd say, because it gave me mad issues. It gave me so much rage. I gotta give it a 2. It's not as bad as the one where everyone is trying to sexualize teenagers. But I took personal offense, so that's why I give it a 2. And then this other episode, I mean, it's a lot of exposition. It's kind of just like, oh, is motivated? Loosely, not really by anything, really. Well, I guess it's gonna be 2.9. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Man, I'm really cold. I do these daily. If you like this video, watch another one. YouTube really likes that. Or you can like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer. So if I haven't reviewed on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that, or you can fast track a movie review request. Patreon.com/ASEPresents for $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month, or $3 a month for 250 vlogs that are up there, plus how to draw Pokemon tutorials will be posted up there first on patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, you go to this link tree, the fans link is free to follow. It really helps the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews. So go here. Until next time, I've been Salad. See you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits. I'm moving to stay warm. It's chilly out here. Ooh, my hands are cold. This is the cold hand big dance. Hands are cold. What movies rule?